going to talk about some of the programs that you're going to need to edit your servers. And one of the first ones that you're going to want to get is Notepad++. This is not just a notepad. It is basically a programming IDE, but it's pretty easy to use. You can use it just like Notepad, and as you become more familiar with it, there's a lot of things that you can do that'll make your life a little easier. Now, most of this stuff up here, I have no idea what it does. I've never used it. The one thing I do use is on the plugins. You go to the plugin manager, show plugin manager, and you can download some plugins here. And one of the ones that see, it doesn't show the ones that I've already installed, is the Compare plugin. If you open up two files, suppose you got one that the original one, and then you made some changes and now it doesn't work, you put the two files in here, you click on Compare, and it's going to compare them. Of course, I don't have two files open. The other thing that it does is the document monitor. If you keep a file like a log file on your local computer and you click Start to Monitor on this, it'll update it constantly. So you can basically see your error log in real time if you're running a local test server, which we'll do in one of these videos. Now, one of the other things that's great about this, and I'll show you in a little bit, we're going to download a file in a minute, and then I'll show you about the language color. Alright, let's see. One of the other things we're going to need, PBO Manager. This extracts your PBO files, and I recommend you use PBO Manager 1.4 beta. I've never had any trouble with this. Some of the other ones that I get, they won't pack the files into the correct sizes. They actually create errors, and your PBOs won't work. I've never had any trouble with this one. It's the one I recommend, and it's it integrates into your context menu so that you can right-click on the files and folders, and I'll show you how to do that too. Now, the other thing you're going to want to get is the Notepad SQF syntax highlighting and auto completion, and I'll show you how that works in Notepad when we download a file. But this will make things tremendously easier. Okay, so the first thing, there's one other thing I'm going to show you what I do. A lot of people use this control panel, and it's slow and it's difficult to get to the page that you want to go to, and it logs you out all the time. If you go to the file manager, and suppose we want to download our mission and edit that, we would click on MP Missions and download, and it downloads it to my download folder. So now I have to go to my download folder and I have to get it and edit. Now I'm going to show you one of the other programs that you should get. I didn't put a link to it up here, but it's FileZilla. This is an FTP program, and it allows you to connect to your server and download the files directly, just like using a Windows Explorer. And when you sign up for your server host, it will give you the instructions, the password, the user ID, and the IP and the port that you're going to need. So I already have mine open right here. And all you do is you put in the host, your username, your password, and the port. And I've already done that. It's and there's the information right there. And let's support previous. Now this is the great thing about this FTP. It opens up directly to the folder. I can click on desktop over here and click on the folder where I want to keep everything. And I'm going to create a directory, mission. It works just like your file browser. You come over here, remember this from the last video. Here's the DayZ Reality Churnerous. I go down to MP Missions, and I can just drag it over here. And there it is. And here I was on my desktop. This is the folder. There it is. Now the other thing that you can do is I can also, let's get my, I'll put that right in the same folder, on my mission, my server PBO. Just drag it right over to my folder. There it is. When I edit it, save it, pack it back up, and drag it back over. What can be easier than that? So, the other thing you're going to need is the DayZ code. We can close our FTP program. Now the PBO manager that I showed you earlier. Now I'm in my tutorial folder on my desktop. If I right click on the server PBO, and here's a link, PBO manager, extract to DayZ server. And there it is. Here's my mission, extract to DayZ1 Churnerous. Now I've already linked the SQF files with Notepad++. So if I just click on it, it opens. And here's a normal file. It's all black, kind of nothing that you can see. This one here is short. Let's open up a different one that is longer that we can see. So here you go. Here's the language. If you go up to language, once you've installed that SQF plugin, it'll automatically load when you have an SQF file. But you can see the difference. These things are black, text is green, comments are gray, and it's just a lot easier. If you've got a bracket here, you can click on the closing bracket, and the opening bracket will highlight. So you can tell if I made a mistake and forgot a bracket. Look, now it's up there. I say, so I say, well, here's the if statement. I need a bracket down there. So it's a lot easier to debug some of your problems. And actually, I can make this file here. I can just go to language, click on SQF, and it highlights it for me. Now, the other good thing that it does is it has an autocomplete. It has a list of all the ARMA 2 commands. So if I start to type a command, it will pop up with a little menu, and I can click whichever one I want. So that saves you, if you're starting the word right, and you're not going to make any spelling mistakes. The only thing that could be better is if it showed you a list of the parameters that it takes and the object that it returns. But this is better than nothing. So, so there you go. You got the Notepad++, the PBO Manager, FileZilla, and that will pretty much take care of the tools that you need, and you can go on from there.